In today's video, we'll be going over how you can kind of get Grand Theft Auto 5 for free right now over at Amazon. It's a little bit of work, but if you live in the States, it's not all too much, and to essentially get a free copy of GTA 5 on the PS4, it might be worth it. Also, we are getting some early sales numbers for Spyro the Reignited Trilogy, and it has had a stronger debut month than all past Spyro games combined. Those are some incredible numbers, and I do want to talk a little bit about that. Also, Outward is a brand new open-world medieval fantasy RPG that's being done by Deep Silver and developer 9 Dots, and it has gotten a release date. I want to give that game some recognition. And another game that we want a release date for, but for some reason we just can't get it, and it's been announced for a very long time, is the Final Fantasy VII Remake. While Tetsuya Nomura is teasing that we might finally be getting some major news on the FF7 Remake in 2019. And lastly, I want to round out this video by taking a look at a great deal available for Darksiders 3, a game that just came out, and a game that I told you guys was probably gonna go on sale rather quickly, so here we have it. Not even a month after release, and it's seeing a significant discount. More on that at the end of this video. First, let's talk how you can get Grand Theft Auto 5 kinda free right now, alright? You will have to drop $15 from the get-go, but here's what you gotta do. You gotta have an Amazon Prime subscription, but remember that you can always sign up for a trial, and you have to link that to your Twitch account. That'll enable Twitch Prime, and that'll allow you to pick up Grand Theft Auto 5 for $14.99 over at Amazon. But after you pick up GTA 5 for $15, you will also get $15 of Amazon credit. Now, that credit is said to be delivered to you within 1 week, but if you value that Amazon credit at $15, GTA 5 is $15, well, essentially you're getting Grand Theft Auto 5 for free, and when you are a Prime subscriber, you'll get free shipping. So essentially with this deal, you're getting Grand Theft Auto 5 for free. I know it's not completely free, that's why I say free in quotation marks, and I say it's kind of free, but if you get $15 of Amazon credit, I'm sure you can put that $15 to good use and pick up something you want anyway. So for those of you guys that do your shopping on Amazon, maybe a lot of you guys are already Prime subscribers, maybe you have a Twitch Prime account, it's a pretty easy deal to take advantage of, and when all is said and done, you get a free copy of Grand Theft Auto 5. Anything that is seemingly free or close to free has always got to be considered a good deal, so I wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. Moving on from that, we are getting the early sales numbers for Spyro Reignited Trilogy, and it is doing very well. It was the number 9 best-selling game in the US in November, and that is being reported by the NPD group, who are always on point, and that puts Spyro the Reignited Trilogy 30% higher than the launch month sales for all other Spyro games ever combined. Now, that includes all Spyro games outside of the Skylanders series, which is considered to be a spin-off. But outside of Skylanders, you do have 10 other Spyro games being accounted for there. So Spyro Reignited Trilogy has outsold all of those games in their debut month combined, and it topped it by 30%. I think all of us were expecting Spyro the Reignited Trilogy to do pretty well from a commercial standpoint. It seemed like this game was building a groundswell of hype, and it seems like it is really delivered for Activision. This is also not a shocker because Crash Bandicoot The Insane Trilogy, which released back in 2017, did incredibly well from a commercial standpoint, and it sold over 2.5 million copies within 3 months, I believe. And that's an absolutely absurd number when you consider the fact it is essentially just a re-release of older games. And of course, because of how well The Insane Trilogy did, Activision is also putting out Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. That's coming out on June 21st. And with how well Spyro Reignited Trilogy did, you would have to think that more Spyro projects would be in the works. Now, as far as other games you could recreate and remaster, yeah, there are a couple of other Spyro games you could go back to and revisit. However, I think the majority of us want a brand new Spyro game, a Spyro game created ground up for this generation of consoles or next generation of consoles. Sure, if they released another collection of a variety of different Spyro games, I think people would buy it, but I don't think it would do as well as the Reignited Trilogy. However, if they did do a new game from the ground up, I do think that would do pretty well, especially because now so many gamers have been refamiliarized with Spyro because of the Reignited Trilogy and because of how well it did from a sales standpoint. You've got new gamers trying out Spyro for the first time ever. The popularity of Spyro is at an all-time high, and I would love to see a brand new Spyro title sometime in 2019 or 2020. That's just my hopes, but given how these games are doing from a sales standpoint, I imagine that at some point not only will we see a new Spyro game, but I do think a new Crash game will happen at some point as well. As always, that's just speculation, but it is good to see Reignited Trilogy doing very well from a sales standpoint. Moving on from that, Outward is a brand new open-world medieval fantasy RPG being published by Deep Silver and created by 9 Dots, and it has gotten a release date of March 26, 2019, so another game added onto the pile of games coming early next year. So what is Outward? Well, here's the description of the game. Quote, imagine a new world in which you are not some powerful hero but a true adventurer. In Outward, that is exactly who you are. You are not some special chosen one or one to fulfill some great prophecy. You are an adventurer who is constantly in danger. You have to balance everything from weight management, hunger, thirst, sleep, and more. You are vulnerable. No matter what you do, every situation you find yourself in must be handled with care and with a strategic mind. Your death will be nay assured as you travel across the world fighting monsters and bandits, but don't worry, this is not the end. With Outward's dynamic death scenarios, you won't find yourself resetting at some checkpoint to fight the same enemies in the same situation. Some deaths may lead to you being captured by bandits or waking up somewhere completely different. Experience Outward alone or with a friend in local and online co-op, and travel the world however you please with no tethers to the host of the world. It's an adventure game for those who seek to enjoy a true adventure and experience a dynamic story where your choices make a real impact in the world. Again, Outward will be dropping on the PlayStation 4 on March 26, 2019, a game that I think is gonna get a little bit lost in the shuffle, especially with all of the big game releases coming early next year, but one I think you should keep your eyes on as it could end up surprising a lot of you guys.
In order to make the adventuring life more human, the threat of combat shouldn't be your only worry. Hunger, thirst, exhaustion, these are all part of the deal when you travel untamed lands. It also wouldn't make sense for a normal human being to get out in the cold of winter without furs and have a warm fire. It wouldn't make sense to run around the desert in a large, fully plated armor either. This is part of the vision behind Outward. The story isn't about you being some central mythical figure.
Moving on from that, one game that we've been waiting on a release date or just more information of for so long is of course the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now I'll cut Square Enix a little bit of slack on this one because they have of course been hard at work at Kingdom Hearts 3 and we'll finally be getting Kingdom Hearts 3 on January 29th. However, after that, all attention should be moving to the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and Tetsuya Nomura was teasing something pretty interesting. In this week's Famitsu magazine, Tetsuya Nomura said the key word that he'd use to describe 2019 is quote 7. And the only thing he wrote after that is many announcements are coming. Of course, 7 would have to make you think of the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I mean, what else could 7 be pointing to? And considering he is saying many announcements are coming, that would lead you to believe that something big about the Final Fantasy VII Remake will be dropping in 2019. I imagine this will all be happening after they release Kingdom Hearts 3, because if you remember, Kingdom Hearts 3 was announced all the way back in 2013, but we really didn't get more information about that game until after Final Fantasy 15 was released. I imagine a similar situation is happening here. Tetsuya Nomura did add that the development of the FF7 remake is going smoothly, but he didn't add anything on top of that. Kingdom Hearts 3 has finally gone gold, so again, the majority of the work is now shifting over to the FF7 remake. A sizable amount of work has already been seemingly done on the game. We got a gameplay trailer all the way back in late 2015. It has been over 3 years since that gameplay trailer. Some progress must have been made, but you have to remember they're trying to remake such a massive game like Final Fantasy VII for the ground up for current gen platforms. This was listed to be a PlayStation 4 title. It was listed to come first to the PS4. You have to think at this point, is this going to shift to a PlayStation 5 game? I highly doubt it's going to be released in 2019. And if the PS5 does end up releasing in 2020, at that point, you would kind of have to think that the FF7 remake would also be a PlayStation 5 title, but that's just speculation on my part, but that does seem to make a lot of sense. We'll find out more, but it does look like Final Fantasy VII Remake will be having some big news coming in 2019. Lastly, for all of you guys that have yet to check out Darksiders 3, and I told you guys to hold off on this one because I saw it going on sale rather quickly, and here we have it. Darksiders 3 is already down to $39.99. Now, I don't know if even that price is going to be worth it for the game. Darksiders 3 has gotten a relatively mixed reception, and by the way, if you've yet to play Darksiders 1 or 2, those games are on sale right now as a part of the PlayStation Store's holiday sale. You can get the Fury and Death Collection for $12, so check those games out first if you've yet to before you play Darksiders 3. $39.99 is a pretty good price given that this game isn't even a month old, but I could very well see it get cheaper, and I wouldn't be surprised if by early next year it's already down to $29.99, $24.99, maybe even $19.99 by like April time. So that's just something to know, but if this is a game that's piqued your interest for quite a while and you just didn't want to pay $59.99, well, now you can get it for $39.99, which is a pretty good price given how recent of a release it is. But that's gonna conclude this video, guys. Again, a little bit of work, but you can essentially get Grand Theft Auto 5 free right now. Spyro Reignited Trilogy is doing very well from a sales standpoint. What would your interest level be in a new Spyro game? Let me know your thoughts on that. A brand new medieval fantasy RPG in Outward will be dropping on the PlayStation 4 on March 26th, so that's a game to keep your eyes on. Tetsuya Nomura is teasing that the Final Fantasy VII Remake will finally have some major news in 2019, and again, Darksiders 3 is down to $39.99. We'll leave a link to that in the description box as well. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.